tonight, we're going to have a pledge of allegiance, we're going to have an invocation, and whether or not you want to participate in the invocation will not matter on the reason that you've come here to take care of business. Each time we meet, we invite a person to come and do the invocation. We invite all denominations. Whoever would like to can call Melissa at the mayor's office and she'll be glad to set it up. So with that, I'd like to stand, and tonight Debbie Montgomery, Councilwoman Montgomery, will lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you remain standing, we have Knox Bullock, the picture at the Woodland Bible Church, who is going to give our invocation tonight. Brother Knox knows about the Ford family, who is Mike Sparks' nephew, passed away I think yesterday or the day before, and also about Bobby Devon, who does the caramel corn at the park and has donated a lot of things to the city and helped the kids in this city. So, Knox, let's pray.
Father, we thank you for this good day that you've given to us. Thank you for our city of Connersville. And thank you, Lord, for good government, for without good government, things would be chaotic and disorderly. Thank you for our mayor and the city council members who are willing to serve and to do their best to help our city be what it ought to be. We're asking for your help as they try to make decisions tonight. And we are a needy city, and yet we know that you're able to help us, and we're asking for that. Would you be with the Devon family and the Sparks and Ford families in the loss of these loved ones? May they sense your comfort and help. Be with us, we pray. Thank you once again for this meeting, and may everything be done in it that pleases you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Knox. Call the meeting to order. First order of business will be check your phone, be sure you got it on vibrate or shut it off. Second order of business will be roll call.
Councilwoman Risch.
Present.
Councilman Weber.
Present.
Councilman Schomel.
Present.
Councilman Nobby.
Here.
Councilwoman Montgomery.
Present.
Councilman Creech. Councilwoman Stevens.
Here.
Let the record show we have 6 out of 7 council people present tonight. We have a quorum and we can do business. Next order of business will be the reading the minutes of the last city council meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
A second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes as they were presented. Are there any additions or corrections by the council? None hearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Tonight we're going to deviate a little bit from the agenda. David Job, if you'll come forward. David's birthday's tomorrow. His wife is taking him to Indianapolis tonight and they want to leave, and I told him I'd get him up front real quick. He's a very devoted member of the city. And David, go ahead and give your report to the council so you can go with your wife and enjoy your birthday.
Well, thank you very much. As you see on the front page, we've done several things that the springtime of the year brings us every year. Something different was the second page with the signs. That was a little different to kind of show you what we do with signs throughout the course of the month, and of course our mileage and so forth. I want everybody to remember that Monday, for the holiday, we're still picking up trash. It's just like a normal day Monday with Memorial Weekend, okay? So everybody knows that just go ahead and put it out Sunday night, Monday morning, how you normally would. And we'll pick it up then. And of course, Monday we start large trash again on Tuesday. After we do the trash on Monday, Tuesday is large trash. And people have called in. We have another 60, 70 people already that have called to pick up their trash. So that's, other than a few, it's working pretty good. But we always have a few that don't want to do it the way the rules are, but we still take care of it.
Let me ask you a question. The large trash would come the last week of June. We'll be into the bicentennial. Are you still going to try to do large trash during the bicentennial?
What I'll do is I'll probably pull it up the week.
Let's
I need
not
to look
do
at-
any in June, then, right?
Well, I don't wanna mess up our,
Okay, I don't want the couches and everything sitting around on the bicentennial.
so when we start taking the calls for June, we'll just put them out until July. We'll start telling people we won't pick up, and of course, we'll search the town and make sure we're all as clean as we can though before the bicentennial, but we'll try to choke it down the best we can.
All right,
And we're gonna start, supposed to rain tonight, tomorrow, and the next 3 days, but if things are well tomorrow, we're gonna start downtown, and we're gonna go from Eastern to Grand and do from 3rd to 9th streets downtown and try the weeds and so forth, and all the grading and so forth, we'll take up and get all the weeds out. Also, I bought the flowers for us. For out front, we're gonna put geraniums and red, white, and blue, white and blue, you know what I'm talking about. Petunias. I got a ton of them, so we're going to, if the weather permitting, we're going to start doing that tomorrow morning too, so. This crazy weather we've had hasn't helped us much.
any questions of the street superintendent?
You had overtime of over $2,500. Why?
Fire trucks,
Fire truck.
fire truck,
Most of that's Phil.
yep.
We've got one fire truck's been giving us fits, we've had it in 2 and 3 days at a time. It's a 1999
I think it's actually.
or 1980.
The way it's,
What's the white top truck? 80,
It's titled a 2000, but it's a 79.
79, it's been refurbished and been giving us a lot of trouble.
when you put the cab on it a few years ago, it made it, upgraded the title for it to 2000, so still an old truck, and we're just trying to make it work.
Okay, your total amount for the month of April, $122,817.81, and that includes the $2,500 in overtime. So just wondering, I knew we didn't have any holidays, because we do pay overtime, like Monday we'll pay overtime to
For one
the
person.
truck driver, right? And then the transfer station is open with a part-timer.
Part-time guy, he'll come at noon time when our truck's full, and we'll get in, get out, and he's done.
Okay, that's all I have.
Anybody else? Any questions? Street superintendent? David, I would sing happy birthday to you, but I'm not a very good singer.
That's good.
Happy birthday, and you and
Thank you.
Sue go have a nice
All
day tomorrow.
Okay.
And John will run the ship and.
I'll send you that, John Baker the bill.
Okay.
Okay.
John Seaver's going back to Indianapolis, maybe,
Well, then we'll go to St. Elmo's.
go have your
All right,
birthday.
thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
John Seaver, you're next on the ship. If you folks remember back, I don't know, January or February, I told you about the refinancing of the '05 water bond, and I think John came down and talked to us next month after that. We're ready to get it done, and tonight I'm going to turn the floor over to John Seaver with Umball and Associates, and he's going to tell us that it even came out better than I told you it did.
Yeah, so, thanks for stealing my thunder, but you're the mayor. Congratulations.
No, I want you to tell us the whole story.
I will. It turned out very well. The refunding bond for Connersville Water Works was sold last week. $3,530,000 worth of bonds were sold. You can turn to page 2 for that. And passed out before the meeting. And I apologize again, there's many numbers on here. The bonds were sold at an interest rate of 2.55%, all the way to maturity. The savings on the transaction, net of all of the cash applied, net of all of the fees, approximately $667,000. The net present value savings, which takes that and puts it, discounts it for the fact that some of those dollars will be saved in future years when presumably the buying power of the dollar would be less, is estimated to be $426,000. The annual savings, again, are approximately $50,000 a year for the next 12 years.
Good job.
So, again, congratulations, everybody. The bonds are going to actually close on May the 30th. On or about May the 30th, the notice would be sent to the bondholders who actually own the 2005 bonds. There's a 30-day requirement, notice requirement, so they will be noticed up that their 2005 bonds are being called, and the 2005 bonds will be called on July 1st.
What was the previous rate, percentage?
Almost 5%.
Really?
It went up to what, 4.85 or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, good.
So with that, I'll be happy to entertain any questions.
This completes, we've refinanced everything, and I was just
So we
talking to
still have
John.
one more. We can do the pool bond, right, John?
Yes, that's right. We were talking before the meeting in the hallway about the pool bond.
We'll get started on that, and we'll see what the savings might be, and we'll be bringing that to you shortly.
It's a smaller transaction, so the savings wouldn't be as large as this, but something more than nothing. And any savings you can get are
What about the Miller Building?
We did that
did
one
that one,
last
okay.
year, or 2 years ago.
The pool bonds, I believe, are not callable. They can't be called in until January the 1st of 2014.
Right.
So sometime towards the fourth quarter of this year, let's all get back together and let's
You'll
think
remind
about
us,
that.
you'll remind us.
Yes,
We'll all forget.
yes. Somebody
Also,
remind
I'd
us,
like,
Julie.
John's company is helping us to put on the bicentennial dignitaries luncheon, and he'll be here to have lunch with us that day, and that's going to be an important part, and I appreciate your company stepping up and helping us.
Yes, sir. Carnival's a great client. I'm proud to do that. Still home. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Call me anytime.
Very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, John. We're going to have the bicentennial budget report because Eddie Harold has been here today and he's been busy all day, and we'll let him get out of here too. Eddie, you've got a report in front of you, and as you look through there, the income is estimated, could be potential income. Remember, it could rain, it could be dry, people may not show up, there could be a lot of things happening. So that is a potential income. So please don't come back in December and say, well, what happened to the $143,000 you said we were going to have?
But I might just say, if it rains, we do have insurance, and so we may not make the income, but we won't take the loss either. So
You have it before you, I know you just got it. It wasn't available to put in your packets. Next month, I'll try to have it in your packets. Just kind of look through it there a little bit and see if you have any questions.
How big is the can?
I'm sorry?
How big is the can? Is it a big artillery, like filled
The
can?
cannon they're gonna fire.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked that.
Is it a big
It
can?
is the
Little-
cannon they fire down at Elmhurst during Civil War days. The 3rd Indiana. That's from Amherst Artillery, right down. Yeah. Are you gonna?
Oh, I was like, wow, that looks great.
You thought it was going to have a put people in?
No.
You're gonna have the opportunity to fire it as a crew.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's applications where you can form your own 7-member.
Where's that application at?
Well, they just came out today, as a matter of fact. I have one in my car, I didn't bring one with you, but stop at headquarters, and they're in there.
We'll do that.
Yeah. There's only gonna be 9 crews, so you need to,
I got some guys already.
they're gonna have a contest on the 4th of July, Civil War cannon firing contest. For those people that, so,
That sounds good.
You're gonna try to get the council to help you?
My brothers.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of brothers. Yeah.
Now, remember, you said you wouldn't put a live shell in it.
well. You know, during the Civil War days, I did get the opportunity to work on the crew to fire that cannon. Happened to be walking by and Ralph said, we're looking for somebody else to fire this cannon. I said, you just gotta volunteer. And I got to ram the charge and,
I'll bet you even knew Lincoln.
yeah, well, I met him down there, that's right, yeah.
Any questions on the report?
Sounds great.
Okay. Everything's going well. Sure don't have any questions for Eddie? He come all the way up here from.
I was up with Pam at the bank this morning, and you notice in the checking account right now, there's $131,392 in the checking account.
everything's going well as far as you're concerned, Ed?
Talking about the finances.
Well, yes, and overall,
Overall, we just had a day, I just came from a day coordinators meeting. We're having those every 2 weeks. They'll probably step up now. And let me say it like this. If everything that's happened up to this point is any indication of our celebration, it stands to be exactly what Mike has been saying all along that it's going to be. The soapbox derby is going great. The qualifications are nearly done. The cars are running good. The organization is in place.
The elders luncheon was a
The elders luncheon was successful even beyond what we'd hoped for. The Taste of Connersville yesterday was,
Friday.
yeah, what day is
Oh,
it?
stuff
Friday,
Friday.
was great. So, yeah, I think everything is,
Who won the contest? I'll test your brain here.
no test because I don't know. I didn't get to be there Friday.
The spicy potato soup won first place. and I
Yeah,
think it-
okay, I saw in the paper, yeah. Iowa Cox. So, yes, to answer your question, I think these 200-plus volunteers that's worked all this time to put all this together is I'll just say, I mean, I've kind of tried to help Mike in any way I could through this, but Mike has put in an unbelievable amount of effort on this. I mean, I get emails from him, get up in the morning, there's an email at 1 o'clock in the morning, another one at 3 o'clock. He has really dedicated himself to this, so if it's a success, a lot of it's because of Mike's dedication to this whole thing.
yes.
So,
Okay, thanks, Ed, for the update.
okay, thank you all very much.
Next on our agenda, we're going to have the tax abatement for More Precision. It's a preliminary.
Set the public hearing.
Uh-huh. That'll be the next meeting.
Anybody here address it?
No, I asked Diana, she doesn't have to come to do this. We're just gonna set it for the next meeting. I need a motion to that effect.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
There's a second, okay. Any discussion? They are moving right along up there, and that's a growing company, and we're excited about it.
Buying a vertical machining center for $50,000 at Timwell.
Right.
Abated.
We have a resolution here to set a public hearing for this abatement for the, I believe it's 3rd of June.
June 3rd, yes.
At 7 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we received $3,245 from the insurance company when the truck ran into the restroom up at the park across from the first aid unit. And we received cemetery reimbursement of $400.52. If it's okay with you, we'll take both those resolutions, 2113, 2113-13 and 2113-14.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion on the floor to pass both resolutions, 2113-14 and -14 and 13. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Down just on the north side of the Speedway gas station, we have an alley that runs along that building. You know that building is right on the alley. Today we had an attorney and the owner of that building in telling us they've hit her building numerous times and that she proposed that we make that alley one-way east to the four-way intersection in the alley. Chief looked at it, I went down and looked at it, it's common sense. They have two exits on the gas station, you can come out up Central, but people dash out of that alley. It's a blind spot, someone walking across there could get hit, and it's a traffic jam because nobody can turn in when they're turning out. We think it's a good idea. We researched, John says we don't have to have a public hearing, so if you'd like to pass ordinance 3020, to make that one way for that, actually one block east, you can do that tonight.
So really, a whole block is to the intersection with the northwest alley.
Right.
Is where it's.
It's a block long though, from
Is it a block?
Central to, well, it's down to
Well,
the
it doesn't
alley.
go to Eastern.
No. everybody understand what we're talking about?
You want it one way going
One way
east.
east.
Yes.
Just to the intersection and out. So they can still exit that way, but they won't block Central Avenue.
What building is next to that? Is it
It's,
The
used to be
title
the-
building.
Realty?
Independence title.
Used to be UPS office for a long time, also
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to pass pending ordinance 30-20. Any further discussion? Is there anybody out there want to discuss it? Any pros or cons? Bill? Hear those-
Well, both Mr. Smith and then also spoken with the owner of the title business. And had a couple suggestions as,
You really should be up here talking.
all right,
We make everybody else, right?
yeah, that's true. Actually, Carl does. But the options I discussed with him is either take the alley and make it one way, or another option would have been is right along the alley would have been installing a series of bollards where they're having the trouble with people hitting the building. Either one actually works, but I think there'd be less cost than involved with actually making it
Board of
one
Works
way.
recommended to the council to go ahead and change it one way. We can always change our mind if it don't work.
If it doesn't work and it looks like there's still a problem, you always go to the next option. And this one is a more cost-effective option.
It'll cost us one sign and a few tickets. Okay, on pending ordinance 30-20, we've got a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Would you like to suspend the rules and move forward?
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion to suspend the rules and consider pending ordinance 30-20 on third and final reading on suspension of rules only. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. You can move on if you'd like.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion now on the floor to consider pending ordinance 30-20 on third and final reading, making that short alley, it really doesn't have a name, one way from Central over to the intersection of the alley by Speedway on the north side. And that's the only way I can describe it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You've done it. We'll try it, and you can always come back and change your mind. Okay. We have pending resolution 2013-15, adoption of the written fiscal plan for the 2013 voluntary annexation. Bill, come to the podium. Quickly.
Yeah.
Must be some ball game we gotta go see tonight.
But actually, Mr. Duff and Mr. Hunter here, they're the
Come
property
forward,
owners.
Greg, and go on up.
So, this is what we spoke about is 2 weeks ago. We're both speaking about the annexation and then also the rezone. I don't know what was included in the packet of information or as an attachment for the annexation, but in the package that I put together for the council members, if you go about halfway in, you'll see a couple of surveyor drawings, and it's right after the aerial photographs. If you get to those. What we have is, the first one of those was the original, when the Burns Farm was subdivided and auctioned. That's how the property parcels were. Now, the second one that has the heavy dashed line, that's the one that shows the property for the annexation, and that's will be the one that has number 3. And that's the 17.2 acres.
This one for you.
No.
Yeah, it'll be one
This
that's
is what
planned
he,
showing right
this is what he
here.
wants.
Yeah. So, we go right here, this drawing right here,
Be down in there.
that number 3 corresponds to for the rezone. That corresponds to that corresponds to the annexation. And as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, about the areas that were actually within the city limits, outside of the city limits, the city owns, and that's why I put in the heavy bold lines for the benefit of the council members to understand where the current boundary is.
Is this it? I thought it was stapled.
And the annexation is, really, it's a prelude to the following ordinance, which would be the rezone. As we, speaking with Mr. Guffin, it's, we discussed it would probably be ideal to annex the property first, so this way the city council can then rezone the three properties, rather than if it wasn't annexed first, then one of the properties would need to go to the county commissioners and have the county commissioners. So this is just it just made more sense to do it this way.
Where it says City of Connersville, that's the airport.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I asked a question to Julie, of course, I haven't been here only 5-6 years, but why in the world why isn't the airport all annexed into the city? Why?
Why, I really don't know why they did an annex at the same time that Mr. Guffin did.
So this is the new part they bought when they
Yeah,
bought the
I know
Burger
that,
Farm, but I don't know
but there's
why
still
they
a part
did
of the airport that's not in the city.
Yeah, actually, there's multiple parcels that isn't in the city. It'll be the one that you showed just east of the property with Mr. Guffin's property, and then the one that's north. So for whatever reason, whether the airport board decision not to do this at the same time, I have no idea.
I don't know that they even know for sure that it's not in there.
Why don't we have you attend the airport meeting after we get this done and find out why? Let's get this straightened up and let's put the airport in the city, since it's a city airport.
Well, it's easy enough to go ahead and do that. Is the city council then to, I guess the proper action would then be what, to ask Mr. Baker to draw up the actual papers for the annexation?
Well, I think we have to go with the airport board.
Yeah, we have to work through the airport board and so on,
Okay.
we can get it.
Well, let's do this tonight, but
Yeah.
let's eventually put the whole airport in the city. Don't you agree, council?
Yeah, I think it's.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because when we look at the actual property records, it says City of Connersville, but it doesn't segregate out in the actual legal descriptions showing the airport board as the owner of those properties. Because even when you look at the information for the airport itself, this other property with the runway, it still says it's City of Connersville.
Well, they are all actually owned by the city of Connersville.
Exactly.
They're deeded to the city.
Yeah, since it's deeded to the city. But, well, whatever reason, they did not do so.
Is it because it wasn't contiguous to that? Is that,
No, actually, it would have made sense at the same time, or as soon as they bought the property. Why? I don't know, because the previous purchase that the city made for that property for the airport, which is that one that's just to the east of the Walmart property, because that was purchased at the time by the, for the airport, and that wasn't annexed at that time either, that purchase.
yeah, I'd like for you to go with the airport board and let's see if we can get that all straightened up. And
Makes sense.
let's do what you want to do tonight.
All right. So I guess this one right here is where we're dealing with just the annexation for that 17.2 acre parcel for Development Marketplace. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Connersville Marketplace.
Connersville Marketplace.
They're doing voluntary annexation, so it should be very simple to pass pending ordinance. Excuse me, let's go back here. Resolution 2013-15. We're passing the written physical plan for voluntary annexation.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Is there a second? Any discussion? Everybody knows what we're doing out there? Everybody okay with it? I guess since it's such an important issue, let's have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Weber,
Yes.
Councilman Shomel,
Yes.
Councilman Nabi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a resolution, so that's passed. Then we move on to pending ordinance 3021. We're going to annex certain territory to the city of Connersville, and what territory is that? Now, the same?
Yeah, that's your annexation.
Okay. Everybody understand? Now, we're doing this by ordinance, which is stronger than a resolution, so I need a motion to.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion to pass pending ordinance 30-21, annexing certain territory to the city of Connersville, which is a 17.2 acres owned by, you have to tell me your name, the company name.
Connersville Marketplace.
Connersville Marketplace.
LLC.
LLC. It's voluntary annexation. There's nobody here to demonstrate against it, right? Nobody against it. Any discussion among the council? None appearing. We'll have a roll call vote.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
Councilman Nobby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
You have passed that by 6-0 vote. So we now have that annexed. Our next ordinance is pending ordinance.
Then you go through the.
Oh, I'm sorry, we gotta go. Okay. Would you like to suspend the rules and go to final reading on the
Second.
annexation? They got it out before I even talked about it. Okay, on suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We can move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to consider the voluntary annexation on 17.2 acres on third and final reading. Is there anybody opposed to it? I can't see behind you, but I don't see anybody raising their hand. Anybody, any discussion up here? None appearing. We'll have a roll call vote on third and final reading to annex that 17.20 acres.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
Councilman Nobby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
We have passed that 6-0, and that becomes annexed. Now, the last ordinance is pending ordinance 30-22. This is to rezone certain real estate. It says we're not going to rezone the area planning director. Be the same 17.20 acres. We're going to make it business instead of light industrial. Is that right? Or heavy?
No, it's, there's two parcels.
Okay, tell us what it is.
Okay, the parcel 1 and parcel 2. Those are going to go from the enclosed industrial to general business. Parcel 3, which is the 17.2 acre parcel we just annexed, that one is to go from agriculture to general business.
John, it's all right, since one going from one to the other and one to the other, can we take them both at the same time? All in the same?
It's all in the same ordinance, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, yes.
And that's okay, because we're moving one from into, but they're both going to business.
Yeah, all three are
all
going to
the
business yet, so you can include multiple parcels in the ordinance.
Okay. Everybody understand?
I'll make a motion to pass pending ordinance 3022.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to pass pending ordinance 3022, making that area 1, area 2, and area 3 all business from whatever it is today, light industrial or agriculture. Anybody want to discuss it? Anybody object?
I have a question.
Yes.
When you guys plan on breaking ground?
We're working on the, utilities and infrastructure right now. We need to partner with another developer out there, so just kind of coordinate that. We're working on the site plans, and drainage, and
we're hoping things would be this year are the utilities from the city sewers and waters. The Frank's grounds going through the development. They actually have to bring those to us, so it kind of makes our starting point kind of guessing when they're going to get done. And we're communicating with them now. The intention would be this year. It's just like any other development. Yeah. We hope we have a couple of interests before we get going into breaking ground. But
We have been working with them, and they are very receptive to help us get the sidewalk down that road. And they understand it. They've been at least 3 or 4 meetings. We've been discussing it. We're going to work with them on utilities, trying to get the utilities to the places they want it, and they're going to help us with the sidewalk. I thought that's something important, because I know it's important to you guys. Okay, I think we have a motion on the floor, do we not?
Yes.
Have a roll call vote.
Councilman Nobby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
You voted 6-0 to zone that business. This being an ordinance, we can suspend the rules and move on if you'd like.
So moved. Second.
A motion, and a second, to suspend the rules and consider pending ordinance 30-22 on third and final reading, zoning areas 9.5 acres, 0.6, and the 17.20 indicated by 1, 2, and 3 on your little map to business. There'll be a final reading. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Wait a minute, did I do suspension? I don't think
Yeah,
I did.
voted on it.
On suspension of rules only. Do I have a motion?
No, we had a motion.
Yeah, motion, let's go vote on it.
I've been there, done that.
On suspension of rules only. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we got the rules suspending. Now, go ahead with your
So
motion
moved.
again.
So moved.
Okay, got a motion and a second to pass it on third and final. They get me confused sometimes. Okay, on third and final reading to zone all of that business, we'll have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Weber.
Yes.
Councilman Shomel.
Yes.
Councilman Nabi.
Yes.
Okay, you voted 6-0, so that is done. That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bill, I would like for you to go to the airport board, I'd like to straighten the rest of that out there.
Yeah, when is when do they meet?
It's scheduled for next Tuesday at noon.
You have to get on their agenda.
I can put you on.
Okay, I
Yeah,
appreciate
she's the
that.
secretary. Let's find out why, and we could even this stuff up, it'd be a lot easier if it was all.
It certainly would be, because it's,
They called
you know, with those ones with this, is you have the information, you have a description of all the parcels, so.
I think there's been some confusion in the airport board about what parts are in the city and what parts aren't. So if you have some kind of a map that showed the whole airport and what was inside the city limits and what isn't, it would probably be helpful.
Because if I recall correctly, I believe that, okay, prior to this, that land that they initially purchased for the safety zone down south, because everything with the old property goes to the east property line, and then it goes up to, goes all the way up. So I really believe, I'm pretty sure that's the only part that needs to be annexed.
Well, you might look at that railroad bed too, if that's truly city property, we just as well annex it too, if that's in the county.
Well,
Mayor, I have the title company doing the title search on that property.
Is it in the
now.
county or the city?
Well, it's apparently in the city, but we're doing a
Parts in the
title search
city
to
and
find
parts
out.
in the county, because the railroad right-of-way, it's a quarter section line right there between where the rear of Mr. Burns' property was at, and the railroad is inside the quarter section line. So that entire right-of-way is lying within the property right now that the city owns. So part's in the city and part is in the county. So an annexation with those would put all of that right-of-way that lies on that
Well,
property.
John is your attorney, get it straightened out and bring it to us.
Sure, we can do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tonight.
I don't think it's gonna work that way.
Okay. I'd like to tell you that, you know, we fall behind a city out in Iowa that trades police cars every 2 years. And again, this year they called us and they had 3 police cars, a Chevy and 2 Fords, with all equipment, I mean nice equipment in it. They originally asked us $31,000 for the 3. After a little bit of negotiations, we got them down to $28,000. I would like permission to advertise for a public hearing to take $28,000 from the general fund to buy these 3 police cars. And what I'm really trying to do, the Board of Works approved this afternoon, I'd like to get all the police cars where they're less than 10 years old. And we're in the process of getting there. We'll have a nice fleet of police car. The dealer out there tells us that he will always call us first. It's an excellent opportunity because these cars are probably worth $40,000 with the equipment when they were brand new. They're not today. They run 60 to 70,000 miles, but to us they're like new. And it's a good way to get police cars without having to spend a lot of money. I'd like to advertise for public hearing for the next meeting on the 3rd of June, if someone will allow us to do that.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to advertise for public hearing to pay $28,000 for the 3 police cars, and the chief has the list of them, 2 Fords and a Chevy. On a public hearing, anybody object to it, any place?
We'll take that from the general fund.
Yes. That's where you would be normally buying police cars
Yes.
anyway. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll set the public hearing then for the 3rd of June. Under public forum, is there anybody in the room that has anything they'd like to bring forth?
Ruby.
You know my name.
Yes, Ruby.
Yeah. I've been asked what happened to Andy. Is he still around? You know, he had the sign up there that said, "Welcome, Andy." Does anybody know where he's at? And, well, you tell it later, or you?
Sometime maybe before the bicentennial.
Great. And also like for you to move the agenda down more on the list instead of putting it right up there where it's at. Want it down before, just before your business?
Okay.
Because lots of times,
You want to move public forum down?
yeah,
Okay.
it was down before it got
Well,
back.
some people gripe because they wanted it up, so we moved it up.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
The
about the
reason I
only one
guess they-
here.
Huh?
I'm about the only one here, so I don't, you know.
Okay, where do you want it?
Well, put it down below after you get done with your, before
Reports?
you get, no, yeah.
Okay. Melissa?
I would like for it to be that way.
Let's try it, put it back down, just before old business.
I don't know who complained about it before, but why would you have it way up there
Well,
early?
because if they
Because you
wanted to
had-
talk about an issue while the department heads were still here.
Yeah.
Sometimes they leave, and sometimes they don't show up.
Well, they're usually here.
Let me tell you something, the law does not require the department heads to report to the council.
Yeah.
It's only a tradition in Connersville, hardly any other
That's
city.
great.
Yeah, I like it because they know what's going on.
Yeah, right, I appreciate
But
it.
it is not a law, you don't have to do it.
No. Thank you.
Okay, anything else under public forum? Okay, EDG, we're not having a report tonight. As you know, EDG does not have a director. They have a president, but he just took over. I guess I could give you a little report. I think that the city council, I call you and I keep you abreast of what I'm doing on economic development. I think you're all pretty much aware of what's going on. Is there any questions? They are having a meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes.
The economic development meeting is
Tomorrow
tomorrow
at
at 4 o'clock. And they'll be talking about a director. They've got a committee appointed to get a director. They've got a committee appointed to get a salary for a director. They got a committee appointed to find a new president of EDG. So they're working on that. And as you know, the request for money didn't pass the county council, so we'll make a decision here some of these days how we're going to fund EDG. We'll see what the split is on the edit money. You don't know that yet, do you?
No, we haven't received anything yet. Hopefully should have it this month.
Should have. Transfer station, Tom is unable to be here tonight. Everything's just fine. As you just heard, the trash pickup, we'll pick it up on Monday. It'll be a holiday. One man will work overtime. We'll unload the truck at noon. We load it back up and then we don't load it till unload it till Tuesday. It's working very well. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do on Christmas and Easter when we have 2 days down. But everything's working fine. I would ask that people would put their toters back in their yard, behind their house, someplace, in front of their house. But it looks better if people would move their toters back after they pick up the trash. I think it does look very nice when all of them are all lined up, they pick it up, but people need to be bringing them back. Also, while we're talking about that, you know, the bicentennial is 40 days away. We should try to keep our grass cut, our flowers planted and watered, try to keep our properties nice. The bicentennial committee thinks there's going to be thousands of people coming here. I think there will be, just from the first 2 activities. And we need to keep the town as clean and nice as we possibly can. So much for transfer and EDG. Fire department is here.
We had 67 total runs for the month of April. 142 hours on emergencies, 12 inspections, 4 investigations, a couple tree plans, and 127 hours of training. And April was real busy for us as far as our spring cleaning. We painted and refreshed each of the rooms and the stations that needed. We did some plumbing repairs, electrical repairs, stripped and waxed all the floors, and started getting the outsides of the stations ready for the bicentennial. Just had a lot of work, and part-time worked 11 days.
Thank you. Any questions?
Overtime was $3,857, which is an improvement.
I do have a question. It's my understanding that Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, whatever you want to call it, is going to really limit the use of the part-timers.
It's gonna, yeah, and we addressed that by hiring the last viable candidate we had in the pool, and then we're gonna open it back up and
So-
try to have some more.
How many will that take you to then?
That'll put us at 8.
8. Will that still be able to compensate for?
We should be able to be real close.
I was a little concerned about that.
You know, depending if we have anybody going sick leave or anything like that, but we should be able to manage it.
Well, this seems to be working really well, and I was a little nervous about what that might do.
Yeah. Change the rules on us right in the middle of the game.
That's right.
Cost of the fire department last month, $201,024.42. Thanks, Troy.
Thank you.
EMS?
Thanks.
Okay, for the month of April, our city share of the expenses was $42,631.87. We took in $15,344.47 for a total of $27,287.40. We had 198 runs, and we've had 816 for the year.
Same thing with you guys on the Affordable Care thing?
Yep.
You get, how many part-timers you get now?
We're looking at trying to pick up about 3 more. And then, but it
Is
should
that
work out pretty
EMTs
good.
and paramedics, or?
Advanced EMTs and paramedics.
We hired 3 full-timers
Yeah, we got
because we
those,
saw that coming. Julie and I have been having meetings with our insurance company, and we saw what was coming.
When you start your Thursday trainings?
Pardon me?
When is the Thursday trainings
It
begin?
starts May 30th.
Are you gonna have enough guys to cover that?
We will probably have some
Part-time
overtime in there, but that's why I'm trying to get the other part-time in, to hopefully cut that back.
Parks and Recreation?
Thanks. You pass them down.
Please. Monthly report, April, revenue $20,821. Expenditure report should be attached. No big appropriations, it's been $988 for weed killer, and our total for the month is $46,503, and $38,000 of it was salaries and utilities. Activities, programming, a little out of order. Right now we got 14 teams signed up for our co-ed Church League softball. The Miller Center hosted the Hagerstown Prom and the Carnesville Prom, and our indoor high school soccer league is over. Pool opens this weekend, 11/6, daily after Saturday. Daily pass at 0 to 2 is free, ages 3 to 17, $2, 18 and up, $3. And it's not too late to buy your pool pass. Summer Discovery, we're also taking sign-ups for Summer Discovery, grades 1st through 6th, $10 registration fee, and it's $15 per day. We have about 45 kids signed up right now, so we're off to a good start with that. Our industrial park project, the buildings are down. If you've been by, should be seeing foundation work this week. We'll get that building hopefully in a few weeks, get that up and ready to go for the season. We'll be ordering a couple of porta potties until that building's completed.
Okay, well, we better hold out there, Mike. We're gonna have to advertise for an additional appropriation because we didn't get the grant to finish the building. We're not gonna have enough money. I think we got just enough money to pay the contractor, is that right?
Well, the bid was 13.7.
And we got
10
10 and
from
3.
10 and 3, so we're like right at budget.
Okay.
So we may have to come back and ask for a little bit, especially for the, like accessories for the building.
But we don't have time to do this, baseball season's in. Would the council bear with us and let us ask for maybe $10,000, and we won't use it if we don't have to, but let us advertise for a public hearing for next time, so we can get this done. I mean, we need bathrooms over there. They're going over behind.
They're going to EMS right now.
Yeah.
Not
I'll make the motion.
Okay, is there a second? We won't use it unless we absolutely have to, and we got enough money to put the building up. We were counting on a $10,000 grant maybe from the foundation. We were denied, so we've got to finish it. We're having the building put up, and we'll use our own people to finish it, but we got to buy the materials to finish it. And I got to have bathrooms. Okay, we got a motion on the floor to allow us to advertise for $10,000 additional appropriation for the industrial park restroom, scoreboard, the whole thing all in one. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Put that down for March, or for June 3, public hearing on that. And like I say, we need to be where we can finish it. 'Cause we'll be in September getting the bathrooms done, and the blower company yells at me because they're peeing behind that building, and they're using the EMS building, and there's crowds over there. I mean, you gotta have bathrooms. And in the meantime, I think you better get 2 porta potties over there.
Yeah, we ordered them.
Okay. But those are expensive, and they gotta be serviced every day. It's a big problem. Okay, thank you so much.
Mike, do you know when, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you
Any
know when
questions?
swim lessons are gonna be starting?
They're signing up now. I'm not for sure the date. Just give the Miller Center a call. I know there's a couple different sessions. And
Thank you.
do you want to give Robert's Building update? I gave a financial report.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Pretty much inside, the floor's been sealed, curtains are up, just a lot of little finishing touches, and we're doing that when the weather's bad. We're outside right now preparing the parking lots to get paved. Poured a bunch of concrete today and fixed some drainage issues that we think we may have later. We went ahead and fixed those issues now, tried to avoid the basement being flooded. So I think we got that part fixed. Attached, I handed out just a simple, quick budget. We started this year off with $62,000. We spent $56,839. Differences, we should still have about $5,000, and that doesn't count for the fundraiser and some of those other things, but we have been buying some things out of those. Items that still needs to be done. I mean, a lot of this stuff, like landscaping, you can spend as much as you want. You can leave it the way it is, or spend $1,500. But I try to put some type of realistic numbers on. And the paving, we're hoping to get that done through the street department. May not have that, but that's about all we have left to do is this $19,000.
The street department can do the paving, you think?
We're gonna do the paving. We already got the paver up there.
And that'll still cost $8,000?
It's gonna cost more than that just to buy the material, because the parking lot's big.
Yeah, we added a little more than the first.
We gotta have,
design a year
we
ago.
gotta have handicap parking. We're doing it as conservatively as we possibly can.
Well, that's good that we can do that in-house. I mean, we don't have to
I don't have to
get
pay.
a contractor to come in and do it.
Any questions, Park Superintendent?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mike, are you gonna have handicap parking back there by where they?
Yeah, I think there's be about 3 or 4 spots.
Okay,
right
I've had
by the
calls
lift.
requesting that.
Yeah. If you go back there now, you can kind of see a basic layout where that's gonna be sitting.
Okay, thanks.
I walked through last week and that floor is beautiful.
Pretty nice. Brought a lot
Looks
of
like
life
glass.
to the place.
Yeah.
Our fundraiser, the chicken fry, was about $5,800 we made from that. And like I said, Knights of Columbus helped us out with the chicken, and CGS bought the chicken for us. And we had a lot of volunteers help us with the dinner. Ruby helped us out to silent auction part of it, and all the people who gave gifts, very appreciative of that.
We've raised over 40,000 in the community, right, Mike?
Yeah, right around there.
Plus what the city's put into it, the people in the community have given about 40,000.
That's all I have.
Thanks. Utilities, he went home. City police, are they here?
I put our fuel report up there when I come in. We had 918 law reports, 18 citations, 2 ordinance violations, 12 warnings, 6 injury accidents, 35 property damage accidents, 0 fatalities, and 116 arrests. And we'll turn it over and you can see our expenditures for the month. We're up a little bit on overtime, but we are having people taking vacations.
Have anybody on sick leave?
No.
Okay.
No.
The $1,887 for telephones, is that landlines and cells?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Okay. Your total amount, $201,013.47 for the months.
Which is down 43,000 from the last one.
Well, there were 3 paydays, I think, last month.
Also, while I'm up here, I'd like to bring up, we thought we were going to have to get a fingerprint machine that would had a landline to it, go to the State House and all this type of thing here a few months ago. And at the time, I think it was going to be around $15,000 we appropriated for this thing we thought was going to be mandatory. Since that time, that's been put on a back burner, because a lot of agencies can't afford something of that magnitude, paying that much money out for a fingerprint type machine. Mayor happened to bring it up the other day, and I meant to come to you guys before that, since that fingerprint thing came up. We kind of shoved something else in the back burner that needs to be addressed, which is a voice stress machine. It's like a lie detector that one of our detectives is qualified to use. We have used the counties in the past, and they've had some issues with theirs, and for this getting dated. Anyway, the first quote we got when we first did this, it was going to be around $3,795. But since that time, Carol's went shopping and found this same type of machine, and found out that the Pendleton Prison uses the same brand, and they haven't had any problems with theirs. And like I said, the first quote we got was $3,795, and this quote she got was $2,570, which is roughly $1,300 cheaper. So what we would like to do, I'd like to ask the council if we could appropriate some money to buy a new voice stress machine. It's something we've used for years. It's very, very a good machine versus the old lie detector where they check your breathing and all this. So.
Do you have anything in your budget that would help?
Actually, didn't we appropriate, we appropriated $15,000.
Well, we did, it's, yeah. We were
So
gonna put that.
we can use that
We didn't
money.
use that money though.
No.
How much is it, 3,000?
It's $2,500, $2,570.
Yeah, it's in the right category too.
We can use that money.
So that's what I'm
I
asking.
think it's good to tell the council that we're doing that though, because they appropriate that money for the fingerprint. We don't need to do that now. They may come back next year and say we gotta do it. What's your pleasure? Well, I guess we don't have to make a decision. He can just do it.
Sure, the money's available.
You can't spend more than 500 without me or Julie telling you can't. So see you in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll think about it.
We have a freeze on purchases around here, even when it's in the budget.
That's good.
Because we have to watch the money.
That's good.
Just because it's in the budget don't always mean it's in the money.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Dave.
I went over the utility report in a hurry, and you got your utility
TV3
report.
wants to come up, I think.
Okay, let me do the utility report here. The beginning balance was $517,000 and some change at the beginning of the month, $563,000 at the end of the month. So you can see water's holding its own. Got to be very careful there. And depreciation, $55,000. If you turn to the yellow page, you'll see that we started out with 615,000 and ended with 621. Stormwater, we're way down in there because we're paying for this project that we just completed, $1,081,586, and I don't know how much we still got to pay on Grand Avenue, do you? That comes out of stormwater. Plus, we're gonna have to start another project. So, everything in the utility is nip and tuck, and it has been for a long time. As you know, we decided last meeting in May to not increase the water rate this year, not change anything, so we have to be very careful how we spend. John, I'm sorry, you want to come back again, or you just want to not come at all? You put that on autopilot?
More or less.
More or less. Let Darryl run it.
I have had him run it before.
Have you?
Yeah, just push that button. For the month of April, we did produce a State House access where we go up to the State House, interview our representatives, senators, and anybody else we could find that's walking around. Almost got the governor. He was too quick for me, though.
Yeah, we couldn't find the governor.
He walked right by us.
Couldn't lasso the governor.
But he was fast. But we do try to get up there once or twice during session, and produce several other things, of course. For the month, we had 12 hours, 10 minutes of meetings, 6 hours, 55 minutes of original programming. Any questions? We've got next week the live Connersville Speaks at a special time. It'll be Thursday on the 30th, live at 7 p.m. Which I guess we're having just the Soapbox Derby, or do we have anybody else coming?
That's what you've got planned, Soapbox
It's
Derby.
going to be me on TV.
I get the interview.
Not sure how that happened.
And then we got a special program in July. We will have, Matt Howard will probably be on there. Who else is going to be on there?
Hopefully Zach Miller.
That's right, I've already asked him.
And a football coach.
A football coach. We're going to have a nice sports program in July. Huh?
Yeah, Daniel, is he coming?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good, good.
We also are, you're not the only one. We're going to have a special program on bicentennial too.
That's in June, I believe.
Yes, June.
That's in June.
We're having this one so late in May, it's almost June. We couldn't compete with the spring concert, we knew that.
Right.
Any questions for John? John will be doing a lot of the bicentennial things, and they're gonna have a time capsule they're gonna bury, and they'll put a lot of that stuff, however we preserve it, put it in a time capsule. In 50 years, they'll open that up and they'll say, wonder who those people were. Some of you young people maybe.
If it's media, I'm not sure what we would put it on.
As I say,
Maybe a
they'll say,
thumb
how do
drive.
you read this?
Yeah, they won't know. Be like looking at an 8-track.
Absolutely.
Or something.
Just give them the VHS.
Yeah.
Those ceramic tubes.
Hey, thanks, John. I think I got it all. Yeah, pending ordinance 3122. This is additional appropriation from the riverboat for the fuel. You folks decided to give $9,400. I still think the fire chief wants us to keep that table. Come up here, please. We don't want to put our money in a building that doesn't belong to somebody that we know is going to be there, and then we want it to be safe. So the fire chief's been working on that.
Yeah, the building, state building commissioner and the number one guy on code enforcement's coming next week to walk through and explain where we're gonna be at with that building, bring it up to code.
That building is owned by the CEC. Well, John, how does that work if we put, it'll just be a donation to fuel, which is a 501c3, is it?
Yes. Are you talking about CEC or?
No.
Oh, no.
Fuel.
The owner of the building is a 501c3
So the
corporation.
donation would actually go to
I don't
CEC.
think fuel is an organized.
I'm not sure they're working towards that end or not, but the building's owned by CEC, and the money was to be used for what? To bring it up to code?
The first floor, the bottom
Yeah.
floor.
And I prepared a lease for them with CEC and fuel, and for the first floor only, but I don't recall what the language contained regarding who would pay for any improvements. And if it has to go to the CEC, I think that could be arranged.
So we should know a lot more next meeting and where we're at.
In order to keep this on the agenda, I gotta have a motion to table it again.
So moved.
It's under old business.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to table this donation, the $9,400 on fuel, until we get better information and we get that it's safe. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Miscellaneous business, Nancy?
None.
Debbie?
I just wanted to say thanks to all the people that volunteered for that elders luncheon. My mother and my Aunt and Uncle thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really nice for them.
Gabe?
Where we at with that title company on that old railroad bed?
They're doing a title search now to try to determine what the city owns and what type of title we have. Yeah, and so
It's in the works though, right?
it certainly is. I visited with them a couple of weeks ago after our last meeting, and they are working on it, but they're going to have to research back quite a way because of the railroad's been there a long time.
And it's my understanding there's several instances of property that might be the city's and might not be the city's. Is that correct?
Well, it's somewhat confusing. It depends on whether or not the railroad had easements or actually owned the real estate in fee simple. And sometimes it becomes a patchwork where some zones, some are easements and things like that. So
But there are other places around the city that might be the city's and might not be the city's, correct?
little nooks and crannies, nothing of any consequence.
Is there any way to find that out?
I don't know. That'd be difficult.
I think you have a fistful of deeds and abstracts, don't
I
you?
have a whole lot of deeds and abstracts, and I have assessors, the pages that they have all the property descriptions. But sometimes matching the descriptions with an address is a big task.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
And the one that I have, that was done probably 4 or 5 years ago.
So when we typically get this type of situation, we just kind of handle it
As they come up.
as they come up.
But he is working on that.
Yeah.
As you heard Bill saying, if that does belong to the city, we ought to annex all that into the city. If it is with a true deed and a warranty deed, we ought to annex it all in for future. And number one, it's right there at the airport. Number two, it could be used. And then they're telling me there might be an alley on the east side of that railroad grade. Has that been looked at, John?
I heard the talk about there being an alley. I don't think the title company's going to look into that, but it may become part of their title search if it becomes evident that an alley exists there.
How much is this title search going to cost?
I gave them the amount that you said we could spend, and their jaws dropped. But they're.
You mean we put too much into it?
No, I suspect it'll cost what you offer, but they're community-minded people, and I think they'll be generous with us.
You heard that, Gabe, they're community-minded.
So we're getting a deal.
$5. That's right.
$5.
You have anything else, Gabe?
That's it.
Are you glad school's out?
Hey, not yet. Wait a couple more days.
Tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna teach summer school.
I thought maybe we'd just get you to volunteer in the park. Okay. Brandon, you got any?
Do we want to visit the sprinkling ordinance or not? What do you think? It's cost us $77,540 last year.
Why don't we advertise for a public hearing on the sprinkling ordinance and see how many people really are interested in it? Would that be okay with the council?
Sounds great.
Let's set June the 3rd as a public hearing to whether or not we keep 4 months of the sprinkling if It cost us $77,000 last year to put that in effect, and we're finding out now it only made a difference of $3 a month for 4 months in people's water bill. That really isn't good business, probably.
June, July, August, and September, I believe, are the 4 months.
So if we're gonna do it, we need to do it in June, so let's do it at the June meeting and see if we're gonna do it this year.
Okay.
Consent to do that, everybody? Anybody disagreement?
Yes.
And if a whole bunch of people show up and want it, we'll try to continue it, and if nobody wants it and it's not important to them, then maybe you can make a different decision.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Weber?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I am going to, I guess. I just wanna say that I wanted to voice my displeasure in the county for not funding the remaining $20,000 for the ED director. I think it shows a lack of foresight, and I think this council here, I think we're job oriented, and we know what it takes to get jobs here, and without a professional in there, who knows what to do and who knows how to handle the ropes, it's kind of foolish not to do it. It's just, and we lost Bill Long because of it, who was, just superb. And, they were saying, well, if he does a good job, we'll fund it. Well, that's like saying, I'm gonna buy a gun from you, but I'm gonna pay you $20 for it, although it's 40, and if it shoots a doe, not a doe, if it shoots a bird, then I'll pay you the other $20. Well, it doesn't work that way. You have to buy the gun, and it's up to you to make it shoot. So I'm kind of upset about that. We need a EDG director, and it needs to be a professional. So that's it. Thank you.
Well, I agree with you. If we had an EDG director, it'd make my life a lot better. We spent a lot of time on economic development and lots of trips to Indianapolis. I think Mr. Baker can attest, some nights we're pretty tired.
Well, it's not only that, like someone like Bill Kiner who could bypass the steps that somebody like you and I would have to take because we don't know the ropes. He knows these people. He bypasses them. And he can get up there and make a difference, perhaps. And it's just silly not to have it. And so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Connie?
Nothing.
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 Nothing. Mr. Baker?
I have nothing.
Okay. I have a couple of things we need to talk about. We're going to start paving streets in June. I've tried to work with Bill Ammerman. We picked the worst streets. We tried to get a little bit in every district. There's no way we could get everything that you guys presented to me. It would have taken $1 million. But we are trying to put a little bit into every district. We took the worst ones. I tried to stay out of it so it wouldn't be a political thing. Bill looked at it, Mr. Krim looked at it, Dave Job looked at it, and I can't even tell you tonight what streets we are doing, but I can tell you we're doing the streets are the worst and the ones that people travel over the most. Again, the trash container placement, I wish people would move their trash containers back, and I would urge, please, over the next month, clean up your properties, make the front of them look nice, make the back, the side. Make all of your property in Connersville look like Ruby Silers, and we'll all be happy.
Get me in trouble.
No, you've got yours looking real nice. People go by there, pretty flowers. We need to do it as the best we can to put on our best foot. Number one, we got a couple of real nice companies looking at us. And number two, it's the bicentennial. We'll never have it again in our lifetime. So let's work at it. Did I miss anything, Melissa? I don't think so.
Were you talking about next to any trim down the road there? They mowed the yard good, but they've got trim underneath the fence. And I had my weed eater out, and I said, "Guys, Chair, I don't think mine's running right. Can I check it over here?" And they said, "Yeah." So I got it clean.
You come down and check on mine too.
Check the meter at my house?
Nothing appearing, we could adjourn if someone made a
Make a motion.
Second.
motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?